This is Cyborg Commando, and today I am here with Scott Beck, writer of A Quiet Place. So today I'm going to be asking you, Scott Beck, a few questions about your movie, Quiet Place.
Yep.
So, let's begin. First question. What was the inspiration behind Quiet Place? Just an idea or something else?
So it was an idea that originally came when I was watching a bunch of silent movies, like from the early 20th century, like back in the 1920s, by these filmmakers named Jacques Tati and Buster Keaton, and Jacques Tati, Buster Keaton, and Charlie Chaplin. And I loved how they were able to make movies that had no dialogue whatsoever, and it just felt like a great theater-going experience that was pure cinema. And so my co-writer Brian Woods and I thought maybe we could make a modern-day silent movie. And it was something that the idea stuck with us for the longest time, and all these different things started coming together. We were like, oh, we're from Iowa, let's base it on a farm, let's have an alien in it, and just have all these terrible things happen simultaneously, where there's a pregnancy and you get stuck in a corn silo. And we wrote the script like pretty quickly after all those ideas kind of congealed. So that's really where it came from.
Okay. Second question. Why do you think that A Quiet Place was so successful?
That's a good question. I mean, any movie that's successful is kind of it's based on luck, it's based on timing, but hopefully there's like a good product at the core of that. And I think for us, what we always set out to do was make a movie that was very scary and would play well in a theater, but also that said something more than just being like a horror movie, where A Quiet Place is very much about a family. It's about trying to be parents to children. It's about trying to be a child and rise above like your own insecurities. And so it always came back to how do we tell a family story within the confines of this being a scary movie.
Okay. So, second question. Do you plan on writing a sequel or prequel to A Quiet Place?
I wish I could say more about that right now, but Paramount is currently figuring that out right now, so we'll all know more soon. Yeah.
Okay. Did the production run smoothly?
It did, yeah. It was really a quick process compared to how a lot of movies get put together. Like, usually films take years and years of going from the script development to getting made as a movie to finally getting released. And from the point that Brian and I wrote the draft of A Quiet Place, sold that to Paramount, Paramount immediately greenlit the film for release. And so the production went so quickly and so smoothly, which is like the most you could ever hope for in Hollywood. It's usually not that easy.
Was there any speed bumps in this fast production?
No, honestly, like it actually, it's one of those rare occurrences where everything like really goes like according to plan. So.
Okay. You've made Nightlight and stuff and other movies similar. Do you plan on writing only horror/thriller movies?
I don't think so. Primarily the stuff that Brian and I have written and directed does work in the horror thriller space. I think part of that comes from those movies elicit a reaction from an audience. Like, you watch a scary movie and you can look around you and see your friends tensing up, or you can hear them screaming. And that's always fun as a filmmaker to see how the audience is playing them like a piano, so to speak. But Brian and I love watching comedies, and we love different genres of films that kind of span the decade. So I'm sure at some point down the line, we'll kind of broaden out. But for now, it's been fun making thrillers and suspense movies.
Okay. What was the inspiration on the creature? Does it have a name?
That's a good question. I'm not going to give it a name quite yet, because it's kind of fun going out on the internet and seeing what other people think it should be called and such. But the inspiration for the creature was always just to find something that was very simple in the respects of how it came after you. Like movies like The Terminator, when I was a kid, that was always terrifying, because this Terminator had one objective and he was going to fulfill it at no matter what the cost. So that was kind of the impetus behind what the creature design was. We knew very simply it had to be blind and it operated on sound, and if you made a sound, it will hunt you. And we just felt that that was the scariest thing possible if it just kept it very simple and lean.
Okay. So, what other movies are you writing?
So right now, I co-directed this film called Haunt with my directing partner, Brian Wood. So we wrote that, we directed it. We're currently in post-production for that right now, and it's a very scary Halloween movie that should be a lot of fun. And then our next project that we're writing is we're adapting a Stephen King short story called The Boogeyman. And everybody knows what The Boogeyman is, which is kind of fun to play in that sandbox. And we'll be writing that for 20th Century Fox. So that'll be the next project.
Okay, so thank you for the time, and this is Cyborg Commando, and peace.